So I do want to, I'm going to pop this on you, Marty, but I'm going to share, I'm working on the first page of Marty's website, and I wanted to give everybody a sneak peek of it.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, here we go. Can everybody see this?
Oh, that looks so good.
Thank you. So excited.
I'll have to fix
Yes,
that.
Marty. Woo!
Thank you.
Wait for it. What story is your closet telling about you?
A
I
very
love
sad one and old.
You wake up every day and you know you're going to have to make the decision. What am I
Yes.
going
Yes, Angie, yes. It is full of, oh, wait till you hear my questions. Oh my God,
for?
we're gonna die.
It's time to break away from your lifeless closet and get your confidence back. Where does a woman begin to achieve such a transformation? Start with Marty. Marty Styles. This fancy little footwork that I did. Hold on.
Those shoes are cute.
Yeah, so this is what we got so far.
Oh, I love it.
So
Thank
cute.
Angie.
All right.
I know where that video was taken.
Yep. What did you, what, Sherry? Sorry.
You come to Winchester, Kentucky?
I'm here.
I'm working on being a virtually styling women. So
Oh, Lord.
yeah.
There's no way you could do that in my closet.
Well, you never know. And it's not just one dimensional. There's other options. So
Yeah.
don't be discouraged, girl. You'd be surprised.
The problem is you can't make them fit my body now.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Closet detox time.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it.
All right. So let's check in with Dee Dee. Dee Dee, how are things going for you?
Fine, but you know what? In my truth, I'm exhausted.
I hear you. Say more.
I'm like way over delayed from a vacation. I don't even think I've taken a day off all
Oh.
year. And I'm just trying to push through. I am going to take some days off, like the week of Memorial. And I'm giving myself grace in these next few days, but still pushing through and just mentally trying to not let blessings turn into a burden.
Ah, good.
But I'm tired. I would be lying if I said I wasn't. I'm tired.
So I know we've been in this place before. And my question to you is, if the world were to end tomorrow, what would matter today?
Well, that's deep. I don't know. Like I didn't go to the gym this morning, and I'm okay with that. Like normally I'd be like, and I'm like, well, actually I overslept, and I'm like, because you were tired.
Yeah, you
Right?
needed
I did. I needed that just even extra hour and a half of sleep. So I'm okay with that. And again, I'm just and I'm not like spastic. I'm not judging myself. I feel like I'm just in my truth, but
Yeah.
working with my truth in a graceful way.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I want to encourage you to, as you're going through each day, there's this voice called the have to. You have to do this. You know that you have to do this, and you have to do it by this time because you have to. And so I just want you to be mindful of the have tos.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to incorporate some want tos in there. I want to rest. I want to just sit outside for a moment and even if it's just listening to the chimes for 5
Mhm.
minutes.
Yeah. Like I'm looking forward to later at 6 o'clock. I'm just gonna take a walk
Yep.
and I might listen to some music or I might just listen in silence, but I'm looking forward to taking to as much stuff as I'm going to get done today. I'm gonna take a nice walk at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. And what does that give you?
I am empowering myself to control my schedule how I want to.
Yes. You live in,
And I like getting outside. This weather's beautiful. And the more that I get outside and do things like that, I'm like, oh, I really like this. How can I have more of it?
right.
Yeah. And I also have something to like look forward to like throughout the day.
Yep. That's perfect. And, you know, I like to say this all the time, but if you know that you're going on a long run, you know, you're driving and you're headed towards a wilderness or a desert, you don't drive by the gas station and not stop and fill up. You know it's going to be a long journey. And so, and if you run across a little oasis along the way, it's always nice to stop there and just refuel and catch your breath. And life is very much like that. So don't drive by that gas station and say, I don't need any, I got a half a tank, I'm going to keep pushing through. And then you run out of gas before you get to your goal. Make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
So that was for you, and that was for the rest of us ladies too. All right, well, let's go on to our topic for today. So we have been, last couple of weeks or so, we've been talking about using speaking engagements to build your business, you know, and as a business growth strategy. Who remembers what we talked about last week? Rachel.
The fine dining experience versus the buffet.
All right, what do you remember from that week? So let me hear from someone else. What do you remember?
Don't give people too much information up front
Okay, why not?
because they get overwhelmed and they shut down and go to sleep.
That's right. It's like going to the buffet and eating tons of fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, pizza, banana pudding, ice cream, and then you pass out 30 minutes later.
Yes.
So-
I'm in my head, I'm like, well, what's wrong with all that? That sounds like the old country buffet or Loftner's back in the day. What's wrong?
It sounds really good, but what happens when you actually eat all that?
You crash.
Yes.
Yeah.
You crash, but when we think about your audience, they really can't take all of that in. It all sounds good, but pretty soon they've bitten off more than they can chew. And you're still trying to feed them. You're still trying to just shove it in. And so we got into some of the details about how you structure this, the way that you talk to people, whether you're selling them a product, you're trying to influence in a meeting, it doesn't matter what situation you're in, you know, from a business standpoint. This is a really good structure. Anyone else remember anything about the fine dining experience and what you took away from it? Okay, so I do want to check in. One of the things that I challenged you with last week is I challenged you to think through something that you had expertise in that you could talk about. And I even challenged you to try to go through the template and see if you could put together just a really short outline of what you would talk about to other people to bring attention to your business. So did anybody happen to do that? Anybody take the time to do that?
I thought about it a little bit. It doesn't actually relate to my current businesses, but I thought, you know, I was kind of inspired by the write a book speaker, which I didn't get to see all of, but I had previously started a book called the Care and Feeding of a Single Friend. And I would love, all right, I'm just going to be bold. I would like accountability to finish the book before I come out to the August birthday party at the VIP Center.
Okay.
To be able to speak to churches on how churches typically seem to fail single people, single adults without children. Now, yeah, when they have children, it's a little bit easier to help the single person because you can do something with the child. But I challenge you to find a church that has a group specifically for singles above the age of 30, because all the single groups stop at 29, and that's not a life group. That's specifically dedicated to single people. They don't exist, you know. And it's, well, why aren't you married? Or have you prayed about it? You know. And there are just ways that you can help a single person out without being condescending, without being manipulative, without setting them up on a blind date. You know, there's nothing wrong with being single. Do I want to be married? Yes, I do. Totally honest. But I'm still living a good life in my singleness. And I wish people would understand that.
Okay.
So
let me expand this out a bit. So you say that you want to finish your book.
Well, I liked the idea of having the book to get speaking engagements.
Okay.
Like, what was her name? Kara? The publisher.
That was Vicki Jones.
Vicki, yeah. I liked how she said, you know, having something to give away helps you get speaking engagements. So the goal would kind of be like, okay, finish the book so that you have something available after speaking, you know, to a church or so.
All right, so let's take a vote. We have a couple of things to do here. So one of the things that we can do is we can pause here and we could even walk through what it would be like to put together this fine dining experience. We could use Rachel's situation as an example, but walk through what she would, you know, how she would do a speaking engagement on this topic. So we could do that, and what that means is, let me share my screen here. What that means is that we would walk through the fine dining experience, so you know how to create a speaking engagement. We could do that.
I don't want to take up the whole like the rest of our time doing that. I would really like to hear more about how you get speaking engagements too. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, the other option, let's see, where is my other worksheet? So the other option that we could start with is talking about, I had some, you know, talking about your speaker kit, what you need for the speaker kit, and how to put that together.
I think that would probably be more beneficial for the whole group.
What do the rest of you think? Because what I have today, it's going to tell you what you have to have. I'm going to show you some examples. We could do that, and then whatever time we have left over, we could start on this.
Could we do both still using Rachel? Like, I feel like it was helpful for me last week when you went through this, because I actually was looking for it because I want to make sure that like what you have in there, I wanted that as a copy, but I think it's good to see you walk through it again. Because I'll be honest, sometimes for some of the stuff, I struggle a little bit because I still feel like I leverage some of my former HR expertise in coaching, but some of it's still different. And I haven't done a ton of coaching to have a ton of content, even for the bio page.
Yeah.
So if you walked through with Rachel on the speaking piece and then with her the bio piece, that could be very interesting.
Well,
That's what
and I hear what you're saying. What I have in terms of how you get the speaking engagement, that's more of a, here's how to do it. Here's what you need.
Oh, got it. Okay.
We're not actually doing a template yet, because one
Okay.
of the questions I was going to ask you is, does everybody want to create a speaker sheet? We will, I'll create a Canva template for you and all that. So
Okay.
why don't we do this? Let's just do a quick discussion on, how you get the speaking engagements and what you need. And then we can start on walking through the fine dining presentation. Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
That works for me.
Okay. All right. I recognize the VIP music.
You did. I'm lost in my emails. I'm clicking on the one from today, and it's the one from last week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to share this with you.
Okay.
Let me get the link. One moment, please.
Sorry about that. Thank God that's what played, not something else.
All right, if you're going to type in this, remember you need to make a copy when I send this to you. I'm going to post it in chat.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And I'll give you guys a chance to open it up if you want. I mean,
Well, I've got it pulled up.
okay, I see you. We've got anonymous platypus. We've got anonymous cormorant.
What in the world?
I'm platypus. Can I switch an animal?
I love the ones that as soon as you guys jump on, there's only
Is
two.
that a bird?
Yeah, what is that? It's like a
This looks like an
pterodactyl.
awkward bird. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and move on, because to me, this is more of a here's how to. It's not as, but I do have a question for you, and we can we can popcorn these answers. How do you get speaking engagements?
Don't be afraid to apply.
Okay, yeah, don't be afraid to apply. What else? Don't limit yourself in how you answer this question. It can be, you can approach this from a bunch of different angles.
Cold contacts.
Cold contacts, okay.
So the HR conference that I was a speaker at, I honestly couldn't afford what I thought the registration fee and stuff was. And so I said, how flexible can you be? Is there another way that I can participate? And so I put two proposals together, and one of them was for me to be a speaker. So versus her paying me a speaker fee, I kind of donated to be a speaker. So that's how I became a speaker.
Okay. And for those conferences like that, that's a lot of those conferences have gone to, they say it's a privilege to be a speaker instead of, they really funnel all the money to the big keynoter.
Yep.
And then, you have like session speakers who come in, but it's still a fantastic way to get in front of a group and make contact. It's one of the most cost-effective ways to get clients. Okay, anybody else have any other ideas on how you get speaking engagements?
Didn't the woman that we saw that did the Buzz Media, didn't she also say she had a another side that generated leads for you?
Yes. Yes, you're talking about our gal who came in, who had the marketing company, and she does like $99 a month social media management.
Yes.
They do. So it could be, but their lead generation is going to be social media, so but you could definitely do that. You could hire somebody you could hire a PR relations person. So Annie Jennings was my PR person for a couple of years when I first started getting out there, and then it just kind of took off on its own. Once people hear you, then you start to stick in people's minds.
Be a guest speaker on a podcast?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for whoever's typing.
That's me. I didn't know I was doing it until I saw it on the.
No worries, keep going, keep going. We've got an anonymous Kraken now, and I saw we also had an anonymous skunk who was on here. Okay, yeah, so getting speaking engagements, there's all different ways that you can do that. You've mentioned some of these. An easy way, if you're looking to save money, one of the ways that you can do this is go on Facebook and start getting connected with Facebook groups of women entrepreneurs, or whoever your target audience is, business networking groups, and you'll find that there are people. I'm a part of a ton of different groups, and some of these groups, they're always looking for speakers. They're always looking for somebody to come in. Hey, do you have a topic that you could talk about for 30 minutes and could come into a group of entrepreneurs and talk to them? This is a group of such and such. And so it's an opportunity to get in front of a bunch of people. That's one way to do it, and it's absolutely free. You can hire a PR person. You can connect with local businesses. You can go online and search for conferences in your area of expertise that you would want to speak to and apply. So it can be very informal, and it can get very, very formal. So what do you need to create a speaker media kit? These are some of these are necessary, and some of these are, as you get more formal and more targeted in your search for speaking engagements, some of these will apply, some of these will not. So first of all, the very basic that you need is what we call a speaker topic sheet. And a speaker topic sheet, I did have mine pulled up, and let me see here if I can, yeah, here we go. Can you see my screen? Can you see? Can you guys see the bio there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is what you call a speaker topic sheet. Other people, they have fancy names for it. Some people call this your media kit, but actually there's a bunch of things that are your media kit. So your speaker sheet has a short summary of who you are, but this is really what is about you, and it's got to have a lot of sizzle and pop in it, okay, to get their attention. But it also sets the stage for what kind of speaker that you are. Yep.
Do you need different topic sheets for different areas of speaking? Like, I know you do executive boot camp and like that's for the training. Yeah.
Yeah. This actually isn't the whole bio. Let's see.
Okay.
Here. I'll show it to you. Find it here.
Like, how narrow does your topic speech or your topic sheet need to be? Should it be narrow?
Okay, so just to give you an example here, this is a 2-pager. This is like a minimum. You can do a 1-page. 2 pages is absolutely fine. But notice here, I've got this is an old one, but I've got Compose Soul, which is more mindset, and then I've got executive presence. So I actually have these 2 different topics here. Turn your daily chaos into calm control, and influencing with executive presence no matter who's in the room. And so my target audience tends to be women. And so these are 2 topics that are important to women. Now let's say, all right, you are Rachel, in your case, you are doing, you have a thing around scripts and playwriting and workshops, you know, using drama. Though you could have like a couple of different topics just on that, you know, a speaking topic on that. But if you're talking about, hey, I'm going to talk about the life business and how and Bitcoin, that those two don't go together.
Yeah, yeah,
So you would want two totally different bio sheets for that.
okay.
Okay, so back to just the sheet, you know, this really comes with, and I'll go over this a little bit more in detail, but high level, you got a short summary about yourself, you got your title. If you have ever been featured on anything, you know, if you've written for a particular online, you know, if you've been featured on anybody's blog, or if you've, I mean, you could even say, some of you can say, yeah, I've been featured on the VIP Center. You could have the VIP logo there. If I've ever done a Facebook Live with you, or you've spoken at VIP Week, you could put that logo on there. So you can put all that there. And then you want your speaking topics. So these are very short and sweet topics. Like you've got the sticky title, and then just really just a good size paragraph about what that speaking topic is. This is where that fine dining template comes in handy, because it really simplifies things for you. I mean, and really, like, compose your soul. You give a high level overview, and you give a high level, hey, these are the 3 things that you're going to get out of this speaking engagement. And then you've got a bio of yourself, and if you have anybody who's ever said anything, any testimonials, you can add that too. And then you have your social media links, and you have very clear pictures. All right, so let me move this out of the way here. So and there are some examples at the end of this that I'll show you. There a wide variation of these kinds of things. So you're going to need a biography, and I recommend that you have 2 biographies, one that's a longer biography and one that's just a short snippet like I created for this page. You know, this is actually more of a longer one. Let's see. Yeah, this is for a more formal engagement. If you're trying to get in at a conference, you're not only going to want to have your speaker sheet, but you are going to want to have more of a formal, and just ignore the typo there, more of a formal kind of biography that tells more about you. Okay. All right, so biography, definitely clear headshots and images. Now, number 4 and number 5 are, hey, if you're really trying to step it up and go for some of these bigger paid speaking engagements that can range anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000, just know that the higher dollar amount that you're going for, if you're going for an actual speaking engagement, the more you're going to have your stuff together. They have out there, you see that there are speaking organizations, speaking managers, people who, speakers bureaus, and you can apply to be in a speakers bureau, and they'll promote you and get you out there and get you gigs, but you have to have your stuff together. So that would mean that ideally you're going to have some speaker reels, at least 1, 2 to 5 minutes, that shows you in action speaking. Now, this is a requirement if you are trying to get a paid speaking engagement. And having a speaker web page. Having a speaker web page. So I'll show you an example of that. Let's see here. Hold on, I have too many things on my desktop right now. I have to get them off. Okay. Let me stop sharing here for just a moment so I can see my screen. All right, so I'll show you an example. I actually have two speaker pages. One is more of a high level. It's designed to draw people in. This is on my Angie Nuttle website. So I've got here a speaker reel here from the RISE conference that I did last fall. Get off of there, please. I'm already a part of my own community.
Yeah.
Your page normally has your credentials, where you've been featured. It tells a little bit about you. They can request booking information, a high level of speaking topics in here. And then I've got several little speaker reels that they can watch. And yeah, so that's one. And then there's something, this one isn't as pretty, but it was one of the first ones that I had. Hold on just a second. Where are you? One moment, please.
Crystal wants to know, what software do you use to make these?
To make the websites, the pages, these are website pages out of Wix. So yeah, so this is an old speaker page. As a matter of fact, it's active. And my last big speaking engagement, they came to this page and booked me. So this one is, you can list all of your topics. I've got all of my speaker info here, so they can download my media kit. They can, there's all kinds of visit media page. So media page is separate. They can get all kinds of samples of, I've been on radio shows and all of that. And all of these are articles or radio shows that I've been on and videos, so they can get a feel for who you are. So people, if they're going to pay you to speak, they're normally going to, they're going to want to hear who you are. Okay. So let me get off of that. Okay, so here's a fill in the blank for you on our worksheet. And Sherry, you're welcome to continue filling this in if you want.
Hey, I'll have to share it on my, I can't do it on my phone, so.
Okay.
Is it that?
No
Did you just-
worries.
Or can you share it to my Gmail?
Well, I shared the link to you, so let's see. No worries, I'll fill it in. I'll fill it in.
Well, I don't mind doing it. It's just that on my phone. Okay, I got it. I got it.
The more serious you are about speaking, the more effort you should put into your speaker media kit. So right now you have to determine, what level of speaking do I want to be in? Do I want to just be, I want to get in front of people, whoever I can, doesn't have to be paid. I just want to get in front of people and get to know them and, you know, and have a chance to share my services. Is that what I want? Or do I really want to take it to the whole next level and get on some stages and maybe even get paid for speaking? Or do I want to spend like 50% of at least 50% of my time getting in front of groups speaking, because I have this level of expertise. And by the way, I'd like to get checks for $5, $10, $15, $20,000 for doing that.
Wow.
So why don't you just post in the chat if you were to pick one of those? One is basic to build business and get connections. 2 is get on stages, more visibility. 3 is get paid. Okay, 1, 2, or 3, which one would you pick?
Probably 1 for me.
1? How about the rest of you? Rachel is all of the above. Dietrich, 3.
I feel like you have to go through 1 and 2 to get to 3.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
I would say it's a good way to practice and get started. Yes. Marty, a 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cherie is a 2. All right, so 8 elements you should include on your speaker on one sheet. A recent high quality headshot. These are some of the minimums. Your contact information. You would be amazed at how many people make the mistake of creating a speaker sheet and they have no contact information.
That's like leaving your name off your homework.
Right. Yeah, people want you to make it very easy for them. Your statement or expertise or tagline. Your clearly defined speaking topics. What value you bring to the audience. So, you know, all the time I'm talking about your 60-second introduction, and we tend to leave off that third element is what value do you bring? You know, what do you bring to people? You may be able to teach it. You may be an HR evangelist and you help them, you coach them through burnout, but what really is the value? What's the outcome that they get that makes you valuable? Any client testimonials, anybody that can speak to, that's heard you speak or that you've written for, if you have their logos that, you've written for Fairy Boss, for example, or Business Insider.
What is Fairy Boss?
Fairy Boss it's an online women's magazine. Some of these speaking engagements, that's why I have tried to connect you all with Help a Reporter Out, HARO, because you can write, there are always reporters looking for comments on things or, to hear about your expertise, and they'll pick you up. I mean, that's how I started out, and I got a lot of logos to collect because they took my, what I wrote and they published it. Links to social media, because they are going to want to see your social media. That's a whole nother ball game. Here are some visuals so that you can see what some look like. This is a really simple one. This might be ideal for if you are just wanting to get in front of people and just share about your business. This short and simple one works well. Here's another one that's a little more simple. So if you chose like the first option, you're really just trying to get out there and connect with people and build relationships. This one is a little bit more. So this, for the second option that I gave you, this might be more appropriate because it's very tiny and you can't really see it, but she does a little bit of a explanation about what her topic is on, like sales mastery. If you're wanting to motivate your sales team. So she just gives like that paragraph. She also gives a single testimonial here, and she also has a nicely placed bio. So this is a good one here. She's got her credibility logos and her contact info. So this one is a really nice, concise one, looks nice and neat. Here's another one. This is actually for an event, but this could be used as a social media post, but it really just has the title of her speaking engagement. So this would be more for, hey, I'm going to talk to you. It's a freebie and I'm just coming to connect with you. That one is not very clear, but it's just a different kind of design. So you get to be creative with this and show what your style is. Here's a really nice one right here. Becky Davis, she's got her story right here, which is nice. This is a great shot of her speaking to her audience. They caught her in action, which is fabulous. She's touting more of, all right, she's an expert at, so she's calling out her topics here. Yeah, this is a really nicely done one right here. Her topic is right here in the headline, helping women push past fear to give their greatness to the world through entrepreneurship. Good summary. All right, and then I plugged mine in there for you too, so that you could look at it. Okay, any questions just about the speaker topic sheets or just what you have to have for your speaker media kit?
I just put down on the chat is like, if you want to speak, how do you, like, you don't have all those credentials. Maybe you've already said this, but where do you start? Like, where do you really realistically start? Who would want you to speak if you don't have all the things behind your name?
Yeah, so, and I would take that on a person by person basis. So Marty, in your case, well, you're going to be a speaker next week for VIP week. So you could use the VIP logo as one, but it doesn't necessarily have to be all that. It could be a testimonial, you know, someone that you've worked with, someone that you've already styled. And I created like on your website, I gave you an example of a testimonial. I mean, that somebody asking someone, hey, can I quote you on that? That testimonial will speak volumes.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be something like Forbes magazine or
Yeah.
like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And even if you've spoken locally or for a Facebook group, you know, I mean, you could take their logo, like Women Empowering Women. You could just have their logo and it shows that, hey, I've spoken here, or I've talked, you know, I've helped this person.
What's your view on speaking remotely versus speaking in person?
My view is right now, speaking virtually is here to stay. You're still going to have opportunities to do both, but there are a lot of places that they like the virtual world. And what they're doing right now is they're even expanding that. They're creating more of a live stream kind of experience like we did for VIP week. And there are companies already out there making it seem more real. So it's not going to go away. You're going to see a lot more speaking engagements come through that way. Okay, any other questions? It's 12:56, so we didn't get to go through the template.
That's okay.
It is.
Sorry, ladies. Okay, so let's do a quick vote for next week. Next week, do you still want to walk through an example of fine dining? Walk through the Rachel example?
Doesn't have to be Rachel.
Or number two, do you want to work together on your template for a speaker sheet? Or three, do you just want to do something totally different?
I'll be honest, Canvas still frightens me. I would love to have a template on a speaker sheet.
Okay. Who votes for that? One.
I'm down with whatever majority. I'm flexible.
Okay. So who wants to, all right, let's just put this out there. Who wants to walk through the speaking engagement template with an example? We've got
I don't
two.
have anything to put on there.
You don't have anything to put, you know, maybe we use you because I could think of a million things you could talk about. Well, maybe not a million, but at least three right off the top of my head.
We'll do me after we do Rachel.
Thank you for the encouragement, Deidre.
So Crystal, what's your preference?
I'm good with whatever, because I'm just like note taking over here.
All right, Sherry?
And I'm pretty much good with what everybody wants as well. My take on speaking at this point is I actually want to do workshops. So it's a little different, coming at a different way. So
Yeah, workshop, but even so, the fine dining is a fairly good temple for workshops. It's
okay.
and you can take that and flip that into a workshop and how to with instruction. You just plug those pieces in after you explain your points, and we can even elaborate on that.
Okay.
Okay, so it sounds like I know that we'll get to the speaker template. I'll create an example for you if you want, but let's focus on the speaking engagements. Let's just get this nailed down so that you'll have something to put in your speaker kit. Does that sound fair to everybody?
Can we put the template before next Wednesday, like that we could have time to like try and fill it out, and then like we have something to show and get like feedback on it?
Yeah. Yes. Let me make myself a note. Angie Nuttle to myself for next week. Speaker templates. Do a speaking engagement example in class. Okay.
Thank you.
Really noted. All right, ladies, how was today for you?
It was good.
Did you learn something?
Mhm.
If anything, I thought it was, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Dee
I was gonna say, I think it was inspiring just to know that there's still so many different ways and streams and opportunities to make money and grow our business. So again, number 3, I think that's the goal. I'm not there now, but hopefully I'm putting pieces together every day to get there.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, those who they're very serious about speaking, I mean, they block a chunk of time out to do this. I mean, there are a lot of moving parts to it, but really just eating this elephant one bite at a time is the best route. So the fact that we're going through it together and knowing that all of you are in business and you want to build your business, honestly, this is probably the primary way that I've built my business as a coach, is through speaking. And it works. When people hear you speak and they connect and they can relate to you, they're more likely to want to do business with you. And I'm not the best speaker. Sometimes I get, some of those ums and so's and uhs in there, and I forget to add ing to my,
Like President Obama
something, yeah.
going there.
You don't have to be the best speaker. You just have to get up there and be authentic and know what you're talking about. All right. Okay, ladies, so listen, I hope you have a super fabulous day. I can't wait to see you all next Tuesday night for our monthly circle. And anybody going to be in person for that?
I might be able to be there in person.
Oh, yay. Let us know.
I'm sitting at my desk right now here.
Oh, you're in the building.
I am.
Oh my gosh. Well, now I recognize the curtains. Cool. All right, ladies.
Have a great day, y'all.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.